Hello guys, Arcand here. I am the darkness in the light, the flower on the wall, and the resplendent nightfall. Okay, welcome back to Supernova. I think this time we will delve into the mission of Nick, where he will be helping the sketchy Martin. So let's go. I head out immediately after an early dinner, choosing to take the bus to the area where the club is located. According to what I read online, this Serenity has a bit of a punk edge to it, so I dug up my old collar in the closet. It's been a while since I've worn it. Should be a good match for Omen's style. They let me into the nightclub with no issues. Serenity is located in a wide two-story building, and the entrance is from a side alley, although I wouldn't call it hidden. There's a sizable crowd inside already, even this early. I look around, trying to spot the Martin. A metal staircase to my right leads to a walkway, and I'm about to head there to have a better view, but I see Omen sitting in a corner before I have the chance to do that. Evening. Hey. Omen watches me silently as I take a seat. The music's loud enough that nobody should hear us talking, even if we weren't sitting in a relatively isolated spot like this. I'm surprised you came. Really? How come? You asked to meet here. I did, but I'm used to disappointment. It is a dark, dangerous path I walk, and I mostly walk it alone. My armor glows for a reason. Are we heading out then? No, take a seat. We have some time before we make our move. Sure thing. I make myself comfortable in the seat across the Martin. The spot he has chosen offers a good view of the rest of the club, but is also out of the way enough that we wouldn't be overheard even without the loud music playing. Oh, so there's one thing I wanted to ask. Since I'm helping you here, I want you to look more into where Gnome might be. You know Gnome? Nope, but Frank said he's a friend, so... I would usually stay away from a colleague's sanctum if I hadn't been invited, but his absence is troubling. You've checked it already? No. I checked his apartment, but while I would know the way to enter his workshop, I haven't done so, though I can tell you with confidence that he wasn't there. Frank can take the blame if Gnome turns out to be fine and grows angry at the intrusion. I guess that's fair enough. I glance at my watch. Pretty early in the evening, all in all. The nightclub isn't even half full right now, and will only grow more crowded. Is there a specific reason you chose this place to meet? Of course, I don't do anything without a reason. For a start, I like the music here the most. It steers the parts of me inside that are most in tune with. Magic? Not magic. Right. Anyway, the pulses, the rhythm. You can lose your head in it, become in tune with that energy. If you allow yourself, or help it along. Oh, like, are you on something right now? Microdosing. Should you be doing that before our mission? It'll help. Well, shit. Got some for me? No, I need you to stay sharp. But you just said it'll help. It will help me. Thaumaturgy is as dependent on one's state of mind as their actions, more so even. How so? Any way to heighten one's mental state, to draw oneself closer to the boundary, makes it easier to draw power. So, drugs, alcohol? Those are crude, but effective. There are other methods. The right music, pleasure, sex, meditation, pain at times. So, can you exchange power by banging it out or something? Exchange power? Yeah, like transfer your thaumaturgical power to someone, or get it from someone else? Oh, you mean mana transfer. Oh, the way he just said it, the Martin knows. No, that's all nonsense. Did he just casually dismiss the concept? I'm devastated. You said something about drawing yourself closer to the boundary. What boundary? To Duat. You mean the Egyptian underworld? Indeed. And that's a real place? As real as you and I, although unseen. I suppose there are other names for it. The Nine Realms, the Celtic Otherworld, Shibalba, and many more. And many more. Those are pretty different from what I know ancient Egyptians thought the afterlife was like. Don't fixate on the afterlife aspect. Duat is incomprehensibly vast. All those realms exist somewhere within, in one form or another, although it's difficult to say anything for certain. But it is where you get the power to do thaumaturgy? Yes. Wait, so is it like a parallel dimension? It is not parallel. It is here. You just cannot see it. Can you? Glimpses. Breaching the boundary has been impossible for a long time. Okay, so Omen has just become the coolest person I know. I'll even forgive him for the mana transfer debacle. Why do it? Why call it that? And you were wearing the Ankh last time. Now it's the Eye of Horus. Any reason for that? You can call it my dogma. If every thaumaturge has theirs, a way to give structure to the mystery that fuels our abilities. Would this mean religious people are actually doing some actual thaumaturgy? Pfft, no, they may skirt the edges, but at the end of the day, most replicate forms without understanding their deeper truth. You can't accidentally stumble into accessing the mystery. You have to be taught the core of it before you can think of developing a dogma. Or, well, developing isn't the right word. Discovering it, rediscovering it in most cases. What about Gnome? The books in his living room made me think he might be inclined to deal with, demons? The Martin laughs. Gnome delves into Kabbalah, a much more well-established tradition than my own, and thus easier to study and use. Study, huh? I am ready and willing to be taught. You? Yup, that sounds awesome as hell. So, if you're looking for an apprentice... I'm afraid not. Why not? You would never be approved, not with what you are now. As for teaching you in secret, my life has enough dangers as it is. I walk this path alone. Approved? By whom? I have already told you too much. Nope, I still have so many questions. You can't just leave me hanging now. Why do you want to know any of these? Well, it sounds cool as hell, for one thing. I'm just curious. Is that wrong? It's a strange kind of curiosity. You haven't even asked what I can do. I'm more interested in how it all works. Huh. What's with this look? I'm serious. I guess Omen must be more used to people wanting him to do something magical for them. But right now, I couldn't care less about that. You can't just tell me there's this whole other realm out there, or here, I guess, and then refuse to go into detail. To be honest, I thought you would be much more knowledgeable yourself, with the way you undid my sleep spell. Well, that wasn't really me, plus I'm pretty new to all of this. What do you mean? You know, being... I lean in closer to whisper. Templar? But you've had training? Yeah. About a week of it. Wait, like you're completely new to this? Kinda, I guess. I figured you had just recently started wearing the armor, but... Omen, we're fine. You just need someone to shield you from harm, right? I can easily do that. I'm not so sure about these. Listen, I may not have a lot of training, but I wasn't chosen for nothing. We'll be fine. Plus, how hard can it be? You can just portal out once we have what we need, right? No, it's not so easy. The spell requires significant preparation, or a space I have already consecrated. Frank's apartment is consecrated? Not to question your work, but it doesn't look like it. Him refusing to clean the mess has nothing to do with the effectiveness of my thaumaturgy. Well, damn, here goes my theory that apartments like that are unholy. It is certainly not good. Whatever works for him. Either way, even if portals aren't an option, you've no reason to worry. I can handle this. Alright. Yes, we're back on. Alright, since we have some time, I'm just gonna grab a drink, okay? Should you be doing that? Well, if you can be high. Microdosing. Either way, it'll just be one cocktail. It's fine. If you say so. Should I get anything for you? Nah, I'm good. Alright. I navigate my way to the bar area. It's not overly crowded. One tequila sunrise, please. The bartender smiles and nods. As he starts preparing my drink, I retrieve my wallet. You know, handsome, I think you might enjoy a sex on the beach more. The voice came from behind. With a line this cheesy, the dude better be hot. Luckily, he is. I turn to see a pretty handsome lion smirking at me from his perch on the bar stool. Oh, really? He just winks, his expression growing even more cocky. Sorry, buddy, but not today. I'm with a friend right now. But if you'd like my number... Sure. He hands me his phone. There. Alright, Nick, can I at least pay for your drink? Only if I get a text later. My cocktail is already in front of me, so the lion, still with that confident grin, slides the money over to the barkeep. Much appreciated. Robbie. I give him the finger gun. Catch you later, Robbie. I make my way back to the Martin with a new spring in my step. You look happy. Just excited for our adventure. You're much better company than the fox. Oh, come on, Frank's fine, as long as he's not, angry. I sip my drink for a time, letting my mind drift a little with the music. Omen's right, there is something to be said about the beats here. Since you mentioned it earlier, I guess I should ask, what can you do? Like, do you have a specialty? Of course, I deal in curses and blessings, like the sleeping curse I used at Frank's place. Oh, that's cool. The plan is not to, but if we do end up in a fight, expect to be on your own. Combat thaumaturgy is not my area of expertise. I'm guessing that's also something you derive from your dogma. Since, like, the kinds of spells you do is part of the structure, right? More or less. There's more to it, but that's the gist. More? Like what? Templar, I'm not here to teach you thaumaturgy. Resist all you want, Martin. I can see you're enjoying talking to me about this stuff. After all, you jumped at the first opportunity to explain what magic means. Alright, so you can cast curses and blessings? Shame you work alone. It is for the best. I mean, is it? You needed my help, didn't you? It's not help, just a way to tip the scales even further. Ensure success. I distinctly remember you asking for Frank's help. Omen narrows his eyes, but ultimately he concedes his defeat with a huff. Fine, perhaps I need a little backup from time to time. Happy to be here. I can use some of my spells on you, if you don't resist it like last time. I'm not sure I can do that. But I know his spells can affect me normally. I almost fell asleep in the bathroom. Only the armor appearing helped me shake it off. Should I tell him that? Tell Omen about the armor's effects, or keep it to myself? Okay, so I'm inclined to keep it to myself because we know this Martin is a sketchy character and he's kind of involved with the Black Wolf, so let's keep it to ourselves. Omen is cool and all, but I don't think I should be divulging information like this. Come to think of it, isn't it odd none of the Sentinels mentioned anything about Templar's armor having this kind of resistance to magic? The Baron didn't make note of it when he was telling me about its advantages. So you have no control over it? I shrugged, not quite sure how that would even work. Omen leans forward a little, his expression growing in intensity. But it is woven from a spell, right? I can't think of any traditional superheroes with a similar ability. Well, the bracelet is almost certainly magical. Question is, should Omen know this? Okay, so again, we know he's not completely to be trusted, so let's change the topic. What is the difference between a thaumaturge and people with superpowers? Omen leans back in his chair. Well, that's a complicated question. To put it in simple terms, the superpowers seem to draw energy from Duat on instinct to accomplish one effect. A thaumaturge, on the other hand, with the right knowledge, rituals, resources, and time, could accomplish just about anything. Wait, superpowers are fueled by the same source? He nods. Oh, didn't realize Trinity had something to do with this unseen realm of yours. Whatever happened during the accident must have torn into Duat somehow. Wow. Before I have time to ask any follow-up questions, however, Omen taps me on the shoulder and points at something behind me. There he is. I turn around to follow his line of sight. Up on the second floor, leaning against the railing to look down at the dance floor, a tall deer is saying something to a couple of men standing next to him. The owner of this place, Jim Bennett, or Old Jimmy. We'll be stealing from him tonight. Oh? So what? Do we wait until he goes to the bathroom and mug him there, or... Omen laughs, but then shakes his head. What we're looking for isn't going to be on him. Are you certain? Yes, I didn't come here unprepared. Where then? Omen slides over closer so he has a better view on the dance floor, then points to a hallway tucked in a corner. Down there. So we just sneak there? I'll go alone while you're on standby in case something goes wrong. But first, we wait for Jimmy to leave. He never goes out without a decent escort, which means less trouble for us over here. Sounds like a plan. My eyes wander back to the deer. It rankles me that he's clearly a known criminal, but he's allowed to just come and go as he pleases. I have half a mind to stay behind after Omen gets his thing and wait for this Jim to come back here. We'd see what he has to say to Templar. Shouldn't we be worried about security cameras? Not at all. As I said, I came prepared. He touches the Eye of Horus with his fingers as he speaks. You should stay out of sight and keep an eye on the bouncers. Yeah, I was planning to. Wouldn't want some rando to see me doing my thing. As I'm gulping down the rest of my drink, the deer finally moves toward the staircase with who I presume to be his lackeys in tow. Omen shakes his head at my questioning glance, as if to say it's not time yet. He probably wants to allow some time for the boss and his men to get far away enough, but I gotta admit I'm growing a bit impatient. Not that this evening would be a waste even if nothing else interesting happens tonight. Far from it. Either way, it's not long before Omen abruptly stands up. He traces a shape on the table with a finger. If you see this glowing, it means I need backup. What we're looking for is in the basement. Head there if that happens. Alright, good luck. The Martin weaves through the dance floor crowd and makes his way for the hallway he pointed out earlier. For a moment, it looks like the bouncer leaning against the wall there is staring right at the Martin, but the next second he's looking elsewhere, not reacting when Omen skulks past him. That's a neat trick. With nothing else to do for now, I check my phone. Huh, I missed a call from Meneses. And he messaged me earlier as well. Are you somewhere outside? Okay, close. Whatever. I'm not gonna reply right now. He'll hear all about our little adventure once Omen and I have what we came for. Until then, the fox will have to wait. I'm putting the phone back in my pocket when someone pulls the fire alarm. Everyone freezes, clearly unsure of what's happening, while the staff starts directing people towards the exit. Ignoring all that, though, I stare at the symbol on the table, now glowing with a subtle blue light. Shit. Pushing my way through the confused crowd, I make a beeline for the bathrooms. Luckily, it's empty here. Several people notice me appear on the dance floor again, pointing and shouting, but I ignore them, as I ignore the clearly armed man now standing at the mouth of the hallway. Hey, what are you? Swatting him aside, I charge in, then noticing the stairs down one floor. Another guard looks up at me with a shocked expression, a pistol in his hands, which he points at me after a moment's hesitation. Really, man? Well, back off! I move to snatch the gun, but he manages to dodge my attempt. Owie! Oh, that was cool. The Martin's voice rings out from further away. With a clatter, the pistol drops from the guard's hands. Swaying, he leans against the wall, then slides down, his eyes closing. Is he... Just asleep. Did you start a fire or something? No, actually I thought you did, but I guess they were just clearing the club and... That's when I noticed that there's some blood on the Martin's forearm. You alright? Oh, these? I'm fine. The office was trapped with a couple spells. Oh shit, but I thought... Never mind. You got what we came for? Yeah. There's more people upstairs. Think you can put them to sleep too? The Martin shakes his head. Oh well, I expected as much. It's more fun like this anyway. Alright, just stay behind me. We'll be out in no time. Lead the way. The main floor is pretty much empty by the time we're back. Apart from several armed men, that is, some of whom I notice before we even leave the hallway. Dive behind the bar. Once I've made sure the path is clear, I'll shield you while we head for the exit. Got it. My protections will deflect some bullets if they come my way, but we better not push it. No problem. Ready? Yeah. I'm first to go, the Martin lingering in the shadows. Two of the guards have taken a position to the side, one standing on the stairs, another on the second floor, next to the railing where their boss had been earlier. They have submachine guns trained at me, but that's hardly a concern for Templar. Two more stand to the far side of the room, towards the exit. The man blocking our immediate way, however, is a little more unusual. Oh, wow, who is this? Can we help you, Templar? Yeah, you can get out of my way. I'm afraid I can't do that until we've made sure you haven't taken anything that doesn't belong to you. I stride forward, and despite his words, the possum takes a wary step to the side. Oh, but then he swings his left arm, the chains hits my wrists and wraps around it, and the possum gives it a light pull, as if to show me he's not letting go. Grabbing it on my end, I free my hand and throw the chain back. Name? Temper. Well, Temper, don't test my patience. I'm sure your boss will be satisfied to hear you tried to stop me. My boss might hear that I succeeded. Okay, there's another... Ooh, the chains are glowing now. Heh, knew it. Guess this will be a fight after all. Omen chooses at this moment to rush to the bar table. A single shot rings out, but the brown-furred shape, unharmed, dashes behind the bar and vanishes from sight. Oh, the chain lashes out again, leaving an orange afterimage in its wake. It hits my side this time before the possum snatches it back. The metal glows briefly where the chain struck. Ooh, sword time. I feel the now familiar weight of my sword as it forms in my hand. Temper's nervousness is palpable as he eyes it, which brings me a pang of satisfaction. He tries to create more distance between us, but I'm not about to let him. The hail of gunfire makes a hell of a noise as it hits me, only to be safely deflected by the armor. Still, it's enough of a distraction that the possum makes his retreat while swinging the chains from the side. Oh, more chains. From the corner of my eye, I see both the guard on the stairs and the two on the main floor moving to flank me. It might be a good idea to knock the superpowered threat out of the fight before dealing with the others, though. Okay, there's a choice to stay on the offense, pursue the possum, or fight defensively, hold position. Okay, I'm not really sure, so let's maintain the momentum maybe? Stay on the offense, pursue the possum, and let's go back if anything goes wrong. I'm not about to try and cut Temper down, just knock him out with a good hit to the head. But first I gotta corner him. Whoa. He spins and swings the glowing chains as I slash at the area in front of him. With each step I take forward, he takes one back. Distance is to his advantage, and we both know it. I fight the urge to laugh. It's so different from training with Meneses. This is real. I should be more scared. But I'm not. I feel a rush, the blood pumping through my veins, my muscles contracting as I make another attack. I feel alive. But Temper is no slouch either. One chain hits me in the shoulder, the other spins around my left hand, the possum yanks it back, and the sword flies from my grasp. Before it's even done clattering across the floor, however, it vanishes. And reforms in my hand. Ooh. As I prepare to strike again, a new round of gunfire erupts. But it doesn't hit me this time. Confused, I turn my helmet slightly, only to notice how far I've gotten from the bar. And there's Omen, two gunmen going at him from both sides. I lunge ahead, panic rising in my chest. The bullets fly wildly in all directions, no doubt reflected by the spell he mentioned earlier. It just needs to hold for another fraction of a second. A spray of blood and the Martin falls backwards, crashing to the floor. Okay. Was that wrong? Can we go back? Oh man, I can't. Okay, so Omen got shot on the first option, so let's see what happens in fight defensively, hold position. On the other hand, I'd rather not leave myself exposed like that. Or rather, leave Omen exposed. Yeah, okay, so let's see. I can worry about dealing a knockout to Temper once the Martin is safely out of the fray. Which, granted, is easier said than done. The possum spins his chains in an impressive display of prowess, twisting them so they hit me from unexpected angles. I'd be in a whole lot of trouble if I wasn't wearing armor that renders those attacks pretty much pointless. The metal glows and sizzles where it hit, without the heat reaching me inside. I block the next attack with a sword. Immediately after, the second chain wraps around it. Temper wrenches it out of my hand with a twist of his arm. His satisfaction is short-lived, though, as the sword immediately reforms in my hand. Still, these short exchanges can go on forever. I need to make a move. The two blocking our way to the exit are the main issue. Hey, Omen, give me a bottle or something. His furry arm emerges from his hideout and pushes a bottle across the counter before disappearing. Wasting no time, I grab it and chuck it at the possum. The chain shatters it mid-air, briefly igniting the alcohol inside as the liquid splatters onto the ground. I turn and rush at the two gunmen. Clearly panicked, the nearest one launches a volley of gunfire at me. My fist to his jaw puts a quick end to that. As the first one is reeling, I pivot to the other one. But the chain wraps around my wrist again, stopping my attack. All while bullets rain at me from the front. With an annoyed grunt, I wrench my wrist free, noting how my gauntlet had started to heat up. By then, the gunmen have had a chance to retreat, still firing at me to cover their escape. Not only that, but temper has begun to approach the bar. Fuck, they know I'm stuck here until I get Omen out. Ignoring the gunman, I turn to face the possum again, planting myself in front of the counter. At least the gunfire has stopped, not that it had been anything but a slight annoyance. Enough, Templar. You and your little friend aren't getting away until you return what you've taken. I lean slightly back and speak in a lower voice. Any spells you can work to get us out of here? I've disoriented the two up on the walkway, but I'd need more time for anything more useful than that. We don't have time. The longer we spend here, the more of these thugs will show up. While his posture remains tense, temper doesn't strike. Maybe he's hoping we'll just give up. Tough chance. I just need to think of a way out. If it just had been the gunman, I'd shield Omen with my body and simply walk out, but the damn chains complicate things. All it would take is for the possum to trip me or pull an arm away to give the armed bastard a shot at the Martin. Maybe I could... A loud gunshot breaks the momentary lull in the fight. One of the thugs near the entrance cries out, dropping his gun as he holds his arms. At the same time, a voice speaks into my ear. It must be Meneses. Oh, it is him! I'm covering you. Get the Martin out. Now. Huh? Hurry! The first thug's body has already pivoted towards the exit and opened fire, but he too cries out and curses as the gun is knocked out of his hands. Meneses rushes in, rolling into cover behind one of the seats, which quickly gets riddled with holes, and takes a shot at Temper this time. Oh, this is cool. He's wielding his Glock 19. The possum narrowly avoids the shot, but it forces him to seek cover as well. Come on! Omen scrambles out the other side, and I get behind him. Bullets rain on my back immediately, but with Temper pinned down, I can follow. Is the street clear? Yes, go! The Martin rushes out and makes a sharp turn left, disappearing into the alley. Meneses takes a few more shots, then abruptly dives towards me. Before I have a chance to shield him like I had been with Omen, he is already out. With a nod, I indicate the direction the Martin took, and we sprint down the alley together while several voices yell something behind us. Finding Omen hiding at the corner, all three of us run through several alleys before finding an open staircase and getting up to an empty roof. The Martin and I are both panting, while Meneses regards us with an annoyed expression. That was... lucky. Dumb. Awesome. Whew, damn, I feel like I just ran a marathon. I'm still shaking from the excitement. How did you know we were here, though? Later. Did you at least get what you came for? Omen reaches into his pocket and holds up an oblong gray rock, rounded at the top and bottom, with several purple rings encircling it across the entire length. You could have fucking waited for me to double-check things like I told you to. It could have been moved by then. Although, now I'm thinking that they might have been hoping to trap me if I came back. Oh right, is your arm okay? Pretty sure I saw blood in your fur. It's fine, there was a protective spell. Didn't sense it. Luckily, with all my preparations, it was easy enough to undo, but not before losing a little bit of blood. What now? There was a spell protecting it? You said the mob didn't have a mage. And you readily agreed with me. Let's not throw stones when we were both wrong, shall we? Hey, all the better that we got the relic, right? Now we know that they could have used it, for whatever. Any idea who could be working with them? No, I mean, you should know by now that we don't advertise our presence, and even then, I don't personally know anyone with that style of thaumaturgy. Great, another headache to deal with. I don't say it in front of Omen, but it's not that much of a headache for Templar, if my suspicions are correct. Any ideas where that stone came from? Not sure. I'll probably know once I've had a chance to examine it properly. Actually, I'm going to hold on to it. It'll be safer with us. What would be the point? It's not like you're gonna make use of it. The point was to keep it away from the mob. It was. No reason for it to stop there, though. The relic can be useful. I don't care, Martin. I want it stored somewhere safe. It will be. With you, I doubt it. Oh boy. Side with Meneses or side with Omen? Of course, we're in Meneses' route and we know that Omen is sketchy, therefore we side with Meneses. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for us to keep it safe. The mob will probably come looking, right? I have ways of keeping myself safe and under the radar. You don't need to worry about that. Well, I am worried, so... listen. For one thing, it would be useful in locating Gnome. Templar asked for my help, and I will help. And an extra tool won't hurt, given what it supposedly does. He did? Anyway, that's not the issue right now. Maybe Omen has a point there. Oh, so this complicates things. This complicates things. Since, of course, we want to find Gnome, since he's, or she, I don't know. Gnome is Meneses' friend. Do we keep it, or do we let Omen have it? But it might be just some kind of trap, or he's just Omen's just saying it so he can force us to give it to him. I'll say keep it for now. Let's see what happens. But no, I'd still rather make sure it's safe with us, especially after going through all this trouble. As I nod in agreement with Meneses, Omen sighs, looking frustrated, but nods. Fine, yeah, the main goal was to steal it, and we did that. Well, at least let me make sure it can't be easily traced by someone else. Won't take long. Okay. Omen takes the relic to the side, where he sets it on the ground and starts tracing several shapes around it. They glow with the same blue light as his spells from earlier, and for several minutes the Martin kneels there, passing his palm over the relic while whispering something. Finally, the hieroglyphs fade and Omen stops. He hands the relic over to Meneses, his face betraying his annoyance at the situation. Alright, well, I think it's time for me to go. Thanks for your help, Templar. I'll be in touch. After we all make sure nobody is prowling the streets below, the Martin disappears into the night. So... What the hell, Nick? Oh, come on, I was gonna tell you everything as soon as we left with the relic. That's supposed to make me feel better? I saw an opportunity to act, and I took it. And I'm glad I did. Wouldn't have been good to leave that relic in the hands of mobsters, especially when they turn out to have a mage on their payroll. You know that's not the point. Sure. So, how did you know what was going on? Did Omen warn you or something? No, the Baron mentioned you were acting weird yesterday, so I decided to monitor where you go, and when I saw you at a known syndicate gathering spot... Oh yeah, right, we have the tracking chip in our body. God damn it, I'm having that chip taken out the moment I'm back at the base. Nick, you could have been killed! Yeah, that's part of this job, no? And you're just okay with that? Yeah, it shocks me too, like, okay, I'll just die. No, are you? You're doing this too, aren't you? It's not the same. Oh, really? How is it not the same? Because I'm not trained or whatever? If Fang can do this and all the others, then so can... You weren't born with this shit. You could give up that bracelet and you'd be the exact same person you always were. Fang, Unbound, myself, we have to live with this. Oh yeah? What about the Baron? He doesn't have any powers, but he still does this, because he can. Maybe it just feels good to know that there are assholes out there doing bad shit, and we can stop them. Or maybe you shouldn't be looking at him as a role model. Nick, you have a life. You have stuff to live for. As if you don't. No, I don't. What's that supposed to mean? Never mind. This is about you being so reckless. No, this isn't about me being reckless. This is about your hang-ups regarding me doing this at all. What did you mean by what you just said? Tell me. Exactly that. I have no past, I have no future, but at least I can use what I have to do something useful. But you are not like that. Frank, is this about the stuff you told me yesterday? Just because something happened to your parents. This isn't about my parents. I'd be the way I am with or without them. But again, we're not talking about me. Drop it. No, no, no. We are talking about you. Listen, I don't know why you're saying all this stuff, but I know you're wrong. Wrong? Yeah, about having nothing to live for. Or are you telling me you don't care about any of your friends? The Sentinels? Gnome? I'd be glad to be out of their lives. But there's a reason I've been fostered with a dozen different families and none of them adopted me. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. Because I'm a fucking mess. But the stupid power may have made me a mess, but they've also made me useful. That's good enough for me. I don't care if you're useful or not. No, listen, you don't need to be useful to have a reason to live. I picked you to guide me because I could tell you were a good guy who was genuinely looking out for me. And I'm sure the people who know you also know that. I can tell you like to keep your distance, but that doesn't mean others want to keep their distance from you. It's not like that. Well, I don't know what it's like, but I know that you're a cool guy. I liked going on a run with you, and I like you having my back. The only mess I object to is the one in your apartment. Aw. He smiled. So nothing I say will stop you, huh? Nope, I'm here to stay. If anything, now I'm even more certain I want to do this. Can we make a deal? If you're doing something, as Templar, you won't go behind my back. Like you did today. Deal. Fine. We should go too. It's late. I really need a shower. The fox responds with a tired sigh, and we make our way back down to the streets. Oh, and let me know when Omen gets in touch regarding Gnome. Yeah, will do. Temper's profile has been unlocked. Meneses and Omen's profiles have been updated. To be continued. Okay, so that is the farthest we can go with Meneses' route for now. Okay, that was nice. That was action-packed with the chains and the fighting, you know. Very, very dynamic and very exciting. Let's look at the extras. Okay, regarding Omen, powers learned. Presumably, Omen says he specializes in blessings and curses. Likes thaumaturgy, staying off the grid. Notes, I'll just say it. Omen is awesome. Who knew agreeing to help him would net me so much cool information about magic? It'll take me some time to digest the stuff he told me, and I'm still unclear on a lot of details, which means I'll need to get him talking again the next time we see each other. For one thing, I need to find out more about what this do-what of his even is. Maybe I should read up on Egyptian mythology a bit. Would Omen be impressed by that? Okay, let's look at his expressions. Okay, shirt ankh necklace. Okay, Eye of Horus necklace and casting. Ooh, that's cool. Uh-huh. Temper. So temper, real name unknown, species opossum, powers heating items on touch, possibly limited to metal. It looks like the heating effect can reach high temperatures. Occupation, enforcer with the Northern Syndicate, age late 20s. Notes after checking, turns out there was a file on temper among Baron's dossiers. Whoops, I must have glossed over it when reading cause his power didn't seem all that great. But in hindsight, it could have messed me up pretty bad. I don't exactly relish the idea of being cooked alive inside my armor. I'm not about to tell Meneses, but this encounter could have gone worse. I'll be more careful next time. Okay. So that's it. Okay, so let's save. Or I think we should go back a bit. We should save. Save. Let's see if what happens when you continue. To be continued. Oh, credits. Okay, so Rotshild, Swaggy Tamago, Hop Skip and the Chew Toys, Shaw, Gabi, Vanilla Bell, Sakudoshi, and Rov. Okay. That is awesome. Okay, does it go back when we press? A special thanks to our Sentinel of Nova tier patrons. Okay, these are the patrons. The Patreon link is in the description, so if you want to join them, you want your name there, you donate. If you enjoyed the build, please consider giving us a 5-star rating on Itch.io. Doing so helps the project immensely. Thank you. Okay, so as a support to the devs of this game, and as a favor to me, maybe you guys could download the game on Itch.io and give a 5-star rating so you can support them. And you can also maybe check the extras if you want, you know, the music, the fan art. Yeah, so that was great. Let's see what else. It goes back to the main menu. Okay. So that episode was exciting, very exciting and exhilarating, you know, action-packed. Okay, so that's it for now for Menesis' route. And I'll think about choosing the other routes. We'll see. But for now, if you guys enjoyed that, I hope you can leave me a like and maybe subscribe if you want to, but if you don't, that's okay. And I also want you guys to appreciate something in your life today. And I will see you in the next Let's Read. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!